Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So we will close this morning session in the first afternoon. I will go soon into the matter, and let me try to set the scene of this new field of new field of application for the technologies. So the innovative air mobility. So this sector constitutes one of the main pillars of the new discipline called advanced air mobility, and is something that is taking place now, and we have to work now on this subject, because even if there are not yet very well developed platforms, aircraft, they are coming soon. So we have to prepare the territory for this new kind of aviation. So to afford this, I think that it is the first time, not as for the drones, is the first time that we need to build an ecosystem before launching let's say the operations. On the opposite, with the drones, we started with the operations, and I try to set up the ecosystem. In this case, we need the contrary, because it's completely different dimension and the impact on the territories. So we will start today to go deeper into the subject, affording a few aspects of this new discipline with the main actors. They are not the only ones. This sector is characterized by the presence of many stakeholders, but there are some that are fundamental. So I will call on the stage Anurag Gupta, from strategic analyst of Airbus, a manufacturer, well-known manufacturer. We'll call also, from the infrastructure point of view, Urban V, Massimiliano Pane. There is replacing Carlo Tursi, that has been forced to leave, but we are well represented, the company. The president of DTA, Giuseppe Cirno, and we also should have by remote the deputy mayor of municipality of Bari, Professor De Sciascio. Okay. So, as for the content and the constraint and the time constraint, not only for this panel but for Professor De Sciascio, I will start with him asking, in the new scenario, in this new approach that we have to adopt in order to build an ecosystem, what is, in your opinion, the role and the support and the contribution that the municipality of Bari can bring to the table? Professor De Sciascio.
First of all, let me greet all of you, and unfortunately I'm remotely connected, so I hope you can hear me, and trying to answer your question. I think there are at least two reasons why cities are deeply interested in this kind of topic. The first one is merely that things happen in cities. New things happen in cities. And so cities are anyway at the center of any change, of any innovation. I just coming back from Guangzhou, the city in China, which is a city where Bari is twinned with since 1986. So, the magnitude of issues is completely different. That's a city with 25 million people. And Bari, the metropolitan area, is 1,300,000 people, 70,000 people. But what you discover is that we share anyway some of the issues related to our cities that are anyway common. So we have to face them anyway. And so that's the other reason we are interested. If we have a new challenging issue that relates to basically the mobility of our citizens, the way the mobility will change in the next few years, we necessarily have, as good administrators, to understand the way it will go, even if it's not definitely tomorrow morning, because you are either an actor or a spectator, and we want to be actors. We want to understand, first of all, the challenges and the issues the city has to face, the problems with the acceptance. The citizens have to understand what's going to happen. And this is not simply a message of, put a new message on our website. You have to make a path with that. This is what we've been doing also in these years, also with the TA, in the framework of the House of Technologies, Italian House of Technologies of Bari. Because the problem several times is a problem of regulation, because obviously the city does not delve with the technicality of the flights, etc., but as a theme of regulation, as a theme of acceptance, and as a theme of working the whole mobility framework altogether to the benefit of our citizens and to the understanding of these issues related to our citizens. Also, of a positive byproduct, you have that you can attract in this way also companies. So there's a twofold or threefold interest in this area. Because if you put yourself, as we've been doing in recent years, as a city where experimentations can happen, and we welcome those who come to experiment, then you also have a further benefit, which is the possibility to have companies to settle, to be interested in the city itself. So I think these are the main reasons we are willing to go on also with the TTA working on this kind of mobility in the near future. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Di Ciascio. Can you remain with us, or you have to leave?
Unfortunately, I have to go to the dermatologist, but I will be until I can. I will be here.
Okay, thank you very much. You touch a very sensitive aspect. That is the public acceptance and the way in which the territory has to work in order to support the development of so-called innovative air mobility. So I'm very curious to pass the microphone to the Airbus, because Airbus is a well-known manufacturer. It has a huge experience in the commercial transportation, of course. So they have very knowledgeable on that field. I wonder, this is a completely different game, and I do wonder how all this experience that the Airbus you have gathered in your traditional business, can you transfer, can you support, and what is your vision about the new mode of transportation called innovative air mobility? Please, Anurag.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Cardi and the organizers for organizing this great event and inviting us to put our vision and our goals in front of everyone. And I would like to start with reiterating one fact, which is something which somehow is not very seen within the industry. The role of the city, the citizens, and the local context. I think this is something which is extremely important if we have to ensure safe and reliable deployment of IAM. Because until and unless you are not able to understand the local context, the local flavor, and the voice of citizens, this mobility solution cannot come to life. So this is something that we truly believe at Airbus, and that's the reason why we are having this approach where we are trying to put forward an ecosystem where we carry the local context, the local players along with ourselves, so that everybody within the entire value chain is at the same level of development. This is another key factor that I want to iterate, that it's really important that all the players in the value chain, going from vehicle, its support and services, the traffic management of the vehicle, and also, for example, customer integration, and also the vertiports and infrastructure. I think it's really important that all the aspects come together at the same level of pace of development so that we can launch the IAM services. And I think this is really, really key. In terms of region, in terms of municipalities, I think what really IAM brings is another layer of mobility. It is also a belief within Airbus, with ourselves, that we develop an aircraft which can complement to the existing mobility scenario of the city, of the region, to kind of complement it and bring on top this layer which can support the municipalities become more attractive in terms of tourism, for example, in terms of business deployment, etc., etc., etc. So these are the key fundamental principles. In my very humble opinion, I believe, Italy as a whole has great potential when it comes to deployment of IAM. In my opinion, I think it is one of the leading countries in Europe, if not the whole world. And in terms of potential for deployment, it is something which ranks, in my opinion, at number one. And that's why my opinion is that all the key players across the value chain should come together so that we are able to contribute and make Italy a bit more, I would say, in terms of business and tourism at the forefront. So this is how I would like to tell our value chain positioning. And we not just say about this, but we also act upon the words that we say. So when we say the co-development of the ecosystem, this is something that we are already doing in Munich, in Bavaria, which is our hometown, where we are part of Air Mobility Initiative. And this is exactly what we want to try and replicate for Italy. Looking at the market potential, looking at the developments that have already been made, this is exactly our goal to replicate in Italy with the local players under the local context, so that we are able to deploy these services more as a mobility solution. So that's the vision that we have in our mind as Airbus.
Wow, fine. Very, very interesting. And I think that we kept that there is a new and different value chain compared with the traditional aviation, a very high number of actors and stakeholders, and to be sustainable, we need to have a mode of transportation that is spread around the territory. So it's something very intense, and also, as I can try to keep some message from your speech, is also the fact that you have to start from the bottom. You have to start from the people that really will use the system. So, and with this in mind, I will please, Massimiliano, take the floor. And we hear from Urban V. There is can be considered a front runner in terms of organization working and dealing with the infrastructure. That is very fundamental role in this new aviation. Please, Massimiliano.
No, thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be here today to show you our view on the industry. So Urban V is a company that is involved in the design, build and operate of the ground infrastructure, so the vertiports needed for the innovative air mobility. Obviously, we, as Anurag was saying before, we are lucky here in Italy because actually there is an engagement of the key stakeholder that already started in the previous years with the Italian Civil Aviation Authority that is strongly helping to create all of this. As you know, on the works, all the works that we are doing in Rome for the launch of the service by the end of this year, beginning of next year. So we need to take advantage of this situation, also in all the region of Italy, because we are really at the forefront of the industry at European level. So as also Anurag will say, there are several steps that needs to be done in order to arrive to the launch of the service in the coming years. From infrastructural perspective, let me say there are several issues that we need to solve. We need to build this infrastructure, the vertiport, in new spaces, okay? Because thanks to this new technology, the electrical eVTOL can fly also in spaces in which other vehicles cannot, okay? So we create totally a new form of mobility, and that means also creating infrastructure in spaces in which, as of today, there are no this kind of needs to have mobility on those areas. So we are opening now the mobility, this new mobility as different use cases for passenger transportation and cargo transportation, and also for urban or regional transportation. Normally, when we start having a new project, we start with a feasibility study that aims to understand the potential of innovative air mobility transportation, starting to understand the potential demand of a specific network, understanding also the priority of the route in which we need to start. And in doing this job as Urban V, obviously, because we need to set the right size of the infrastructure and to find the right location in which putting this infrastructure, we also want to have all the main stakeholders involved in this study from the very beginning, for example, the OEM and operators, to share with them our view and understanding the network that could be useful for some specific areas. Obviously, in Puglia, we can imagine different use cases. Regional connection could be obviously one of the most interesting one, with a time saving among the cities that can overcome also the 70% compared to the other means of transportation, but also in some cases to shorter distance or urban connection. We can imagine that the vertiport can be established in the airport for sure, that are keynotes and hub in which we expect to have a lot of movements, as well as other activities such as hangarage maintenance, parking on the VTOL, and so on. So for sure that are keynotes, but also, for example, ports, rails, rail station, parking, and so on. Intermodality is a very important issue. So we want to create this network of vertiport that are well integrated in all the transportation system. So in order to do all this job that start with, as I was saying, a feasibility study, then identification of the sites and of the route, and then starting having the project that are necessary to get all the approval, the permitting for building the infrastructure from the municipalities and from the CAA, because these are aviation infrastructure. So these are all the steps, and then we can think to build and operating the infrastructure. This takes years, okay? So it's important that all the key stakeholders start contributing together and collaborating together to overcome all the challenges that we are facing, in the industry, in order to be sure that this could start running in the coming years.
Okay, thank you. Many other messages. So it seems to me that in order to develop an ecosystem, we need not only a very high number of stakeholders, but also we have to prepare for this. It's nothing that happens from the night to today. And overnight, nothing happened. So we have to prepare ourselves, we have to study, we have to go deeper into the economic issues, as also Mr. Di Ciascio said, the public acceptance. We have to make different steps in order to build an ecosystem, and is what, according to my first intervention, we have to prepare the ecosystem in order to make things happen. Now, let me go to the Mr. Acerno for the DTA. What can be the role of DTA? Let's say a player that is well known and established in the field of research and development and very, let's say, spread knowledge in the aviation field to support this new idea of transportation. Please, Giuseppe.
Thank you.
To you.
And good morning again. That's a good question because it reminds me to my thought about which are the best ingredients to use in an experience like the one that we are running here in this part of Italy, in this part of Europe. And first of all, I would say that maybe the most important thing is an attitude, a state of mind, or a behavior which is dedicated to new challenges and to the capability and no fear to make things change and to change paradigm and to change the way in which we approach things. If you think that today we are surrounded by these disruptive technologies that are something that happen almost, I don't want to say day by day, but the process, the time between an innovation or a jump in technologies is very short before what happened time ago. So we are surrounded by new things, but also by new opportunities, and I would say also by new menaces. So to deal with it, what we need, as I say, the behavior, an approach. And I think that this is typical for each subject, each entity that moves through innovation. No fear, and in particular, the capability to change the approach to how things have been thought before then. But also there is another thing that I think is very important, is the capability to work in a cooperative way. This is another thing that I have to underline because in my experience I can say that it's not so often easy to have in front of us complex challenges and altogether think that the only way to gain them is to stay together, each one with his role, and to cooperate all together. So this is another thing that is important. It's what we need as tools to reach the creation of an ecosystem. Again, is a cultural approach that innovators should have to do that. And also we live in the time of the connectivity. You become from a country in which Khanna told us that connectivity is our destiny. And in the future, we will see people and powers and territories more and more connected, and the ones that are connected will win the competition. But it's not only a matter of technology, the connection. Again, it's also an ability to connect each other with the entity of value that you can find everywhere, not only in your garden, and to approach these complex challenges. In our experience, which is a short experience, but it's nice to say something. Maybe what was the light that we had followed in this year was first the building of, let's say, a team, okay, or let's say an engagement between different actors that can operate and cooperate for the result. And I think that we had a success. Maybe MAM is an expression of this. What is MAM? Is a place in which we find our partner that day by day, from the other side, or on the other side of the phone, of the portable computer, or in the other room, work with us. We are all together here. There are universities, enterprises, authorities, ourselves, students. This is the idea about I was speaking before. And this is a good representation of how an ecosystem can be built. Also because I think that we can overwhelm the difference in terms of comprehension of the opportunities and the menaces staying together. And That's why, but maybe we will say more, we have thought in these days that there are the good condition to push on this ecosystem, to try to have new challenges. Till now, as you know, we have been concentrated on the drones from the point of view of mission like inspection, monitoring, and so on, or on transport of goods. We didn't get the chance we didn't have the chance. Now maybe we want to get it to start to understand what is another kind of use of the autonomous driving technology that is related to people and to goods. And I think, as Mr. Di Sciascio said, in this, let's say, in this field, in this ground, I think there are the condition to better analyze, understand which are our possibilities, and maybe we will speak more in the next about it. I will give more information about it.
Okay, thank you, Giuseppe. So we discovered that it is not a surprise, probably, that we are speaking about the innovative air mobility. So to deal with, you need an innovative approach. So, and you need innovation in the thinking, innovative thinking, in order to deal with, in order to manage this. So, and we have to put in place new capabilities in order to bring all together and try to share. And the key word is the sharing of experience, the sharing of interest, in order to let people participate, contributing actively and proactively to the process of building an ecosystem, sustainable ecosystem, I would add. So in this point of view and in this line, I will ask to close this panel a very quick round of key messages that people in the audience can take away as a result of this panel. Please, I will start from well, we still have Mr. Di Sciascio, but I think that I would try to have a key message from Airbus, Urban V, then the municipality of Bari, and the DTA. So in this order, please, a key message for the audience.
Thanks a lot, and yeah, I mean, thanks for giving me the opportunity again. I think in terms of key message, we hear together, I think right now from all of us, couple of words which might resonate with us. First of all, collaborative work, and secondly, ecosystem. What does an ecosystem actually mean? I mean, in our opinion, it's not just a buzzword, it's more a cluster of projects that actually define the launch of IAM services. So that's what we mean when we say by the word ecosystem. And I think this is where, in the region of Puglia, where we have the opportunity right now, at the beginning of this curve, to launch IAM services, to already start to feed to conduct the right level of studies, to have assessment of the three key pillars. I would say the technological pillar, the commercial pillar, industrial pillar, along with the financial pillar. So I think with this study, I mean, we can attain this, and we can already draft a plan where we can get to the stage of launching IAM services in this beautiful region, which I think has great potential for IAM. So I will leave all of you with a thought to understand how can you contribute to this particular ecosystem or the cluster of projects, if I may call it that way, and yeah, and bring together the development of an entire ecosystem at the same level.
Okay. Please, short and sharp.
Okay, thank you. Now, from my point of view, the key messages are: we need to start now to do all the job that we were mentioning before in order to be ready in 2026, 2027 to launch for the business, and sharing the information during this period.
No, I think is a timing advertisement. So, fine. Mr. Di Sciascio, are you still online? Please, if you have a key message.
The key message, I do perfectly agree with the idea that the ecosystem is at the core. And the message I want to to let you have is that our city in particular is ready to accept the challenge of being a city where you can try to establish an ecosystem of this kind. So we believe that this will benefit our citizens, so we think we can do it. That's it.
No.
Thanks.
So, very, very good. Please,
So
Giuseppe.
I agree with all the message. So I won't give a message. I will make a summarize of it, saying, according to their words, that we are very happy because now we have the opportunity with the Urban V and with the Airbus, and in particular with the municipality of Bari. So we are going to work in the next month to create a feasibility study with the support with all of us in order to design a possible advent of the urban air mobility in Puglia, starting from the analysis of what is really possible to do, which are the impact, which are the economic results. So this is not an announcement, but this is what we will do in the same months, and we will have time in the Comune of Bari to give more information about this agreement that we are going to sign.
Okay, waiting for the announcement, I think that we can close in a positive way with a very high-level key messages and, let's say, good thinking in order to build an economic and environmentally sustainable ecosystem. Okay, I will thank you, the audience.